Hi everybody, welcome to another installment of Story Time with Nonna. I'm Nonna and I've got a wonderful story for you today, and it's from the same book that we read last time. It's from one of my favorite illustrators is Mary Engelbreit, Storybook Favorites, Nursery and Fairy Tales. And last week we did 2, and I think we'll do 2 this time. So I have a good one to start off with. It's called The Emperor's New Clothes. The Emperor's New Clothes. Once there was an emperor who wanted the best of everything. The tallest castle, the biggest army, the funniest jester, and especially the finest clothes. Knowing this, a clever tailor decided to play a trick on him. The tailor came into the palace with his prettiest silks and satins. "Don't you have something better?" asked the emperor. "Something nobody else has." "In this bag," said the tailor, "I have the finest cloth in the world. It is thin as moonbeams, as light as air." "Show me," the emperor demanded. The tailor pretended to pull the cloth out of his bag. "Look at these colors," he said. "Look at the pattern. Isn't it the loveliest thing you've ever seen?" Anyone who wears it feels as if he is wearing nothing at all. "Oh, and there's one more thing," the tailor whispered in the emperor's ear. "Only the wise can see this invisible cloth." The emperor could see nothing. "But if I tell the tailor that," he thought, "he'll think I'm a fool. He'll know that I'm not wise enough to be the emperor." So the emperor says, "Make me a suit out of this cloth at once." The next day, the tailor sent a box to the palace. Inside it, he said, was a suit made of the magical cloth. The emperor pretended to put the suit on. His wife could not see a thing. No one could. But they all wanted the others to think that they were wise enough to see the cloth, so they cried out, "Wonderful! Oh, our emperor has the most beautiful clothes in the world!" The emperor decided to go on a walk to show off. Now all the townspeople heard of the emperor's new clothes. They did not want to look like fools, so they clapped and cheered as if they could see what the emperor was wearing. And he's walking around in his underwear. One little girl came out onto her balcony. She could see that the emperor had nothing on, and she didn't care if people thought she was foolish, so she said loudly, "But he doesn't have any clothes on! The emperor has no clothes!" People in the crowd heard, and they all realized that nobody could see the emperor's new clothes. "The emperor has no clothes!" they shouted. The emperor's soldiers heard. His servants heard. His wife heard. "The emperor has no clothes!" they gasped. And the emperor heard. Then he knew he had been tricked by the tailor. He rushed home. For many weeks he hardly dared to show his face. And to this day, people tell the story of the foolish emperor who took a walk one day wearing no clothes at all. How about that? That's embarrassing. That was a really good story, wasn't it? It just shows that we maybe shouldn't think too much about what people think. So our next story is about the city mouse and the country mouse. Once upon a time, there was a poor country mouse. Her cousin, the rich city mouse, came to visit. "Wow," said the city mouse, seeing how her cousin lived. "You really are poor." "I don't have much to offer," said the Country Mouse, "but I'm going to dig up something good to eat." "Roots?" the City Mouse said when the Country Mouse returned. "At my house, we don't have to dig for our dinner. Just this morning, the cook baked a cake." Now the Country Mouse felt very sorry for herself. "I'd like some cake," she said. So the two mice walked back to the city and into the fanciest house the Country Mouse had ever seen. "This is the life," said the City Mouse proudly. "And there's the cake." "It sure looks tasty," said the Country Mouse. "We can eat our fill," said the City Mouse, "as long as the cook isn't looking." Just then, wham! The kitchen door opened and in came the cook. "Scat!" she cried. The two cousins scurried into a hole. "No problem," said the City Mouse. "We'll have another chance in just a second." But when they crept out again, the cook chased them out with a broom. "Don't worry," said the City Mouse, all out of breath now. "That cake isn't going anywhere." They waited 2 hours and got very, very hungry. Can you guess what happened when they came out again and started to nibble? In came the cat. The cousins ran back into the hole. As they huddled there, hungry and terrified, the cat sat watching, ready to pounce. Country Mouse started to think fondly of her field and home. At home she could have tasty roots and dry wheat stalks for dinner. So she said to the City Mouse, "Please come visit me often, cousin." As soon as the cat turned his head, she ran away, and before long she was safely home, snug and happy. Very nice. Did you guys like that one? I like that one too. She appreciated it. Her simple home. So that's it today for Story Time with Nonna and Mary Engelbreit's book. I really am enjoying this series, and I hope you guys will join me for next time with Story Time with Nonna. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great day. Bye.